Hello! Today I'm going to make some art on this December calendar piece. It's the very last one. I have a whole bunch of other ones that I've done throughout the whole year, and I'm going to show them all at the end of this video, but I just know if I don't do this one today, I'll never get it finished. So let's get into it! So being December, I feel like it needs to be something Christmassy. I bought these cute little paper cutouts at the Papercraft show, and I've been looking at them wondering what on earth I'm going to do with them, but I just really like the colour palette of them, and I thought I might incorporate one or two of these in my artwork. I also really like the Christmas tree that I've got at the top there, and that is what inspired the drawing which I'm going to do in a moment. I was going to do a watercolour painting, but you'll see what happened instead, because I changed my mind on that too. I'm good at doing that. So I've set the Christmas tree aside to use as my reference, and I'm drawing out just a little triangular shape with a centre line so I can get an idea of what the tree shape is going to look like. I've tried drawing Christmas trees before, and they usually end up completely wonky, so having a very light triangle shape underneath just keeps me in the lines and guides me as to where the tree should be going. I'm using a mechanical pencil here because it was what was in front of me, and I'm just drawing in a very quick sketch of the Christmas tree, getting in all of those little branches. This is where I decided it was going to be far too detailed for me to want to use watercolour, and so I did change my mind and I'm going to draw the entire thing using pens. And I feel like this was a good choice for the picture that I drew, just with all of those details. It is quite a scribbly design, and I actually quite like it. It's turned out quite illustrative, and even though it's just scribbles, it does actually look quite realistic in its own way. And sometimes you don't actually need to draw all of the details in, you can just draw the appearance of details with a few scribbly lines. I'm going over everything with a Uniball fineliner pen. This is my thinnest pen that I have. It's a 0.38mm, and it's really good for drawing. Nice and smooth with waterproof ink. You can see my hair in the left corner. I was leaning quite close to this to get the drawing in, although I don't think you could see my head at any point, but it wouldn't surprise me if you could, because I forget about that sometimes. So I wasn't actually intending on putting out a video today, but then I was looking at this December calendar thinking I don't know when I'm going to actually get it done at any other time of this month. So I'd ended up with some spare time on Sunday afternoon, and I just sat down and drew this. It was actually really relaxing and I enjoyed it very much. If I had left it for Monday, I don't think I would have finished the artwork and do all of the video editing. It would have been very stressful, but because I got the picture done a day earlier, then I've just got to edit the video, and it's so much easier to get this ready to go for Wednesday, which is the time it comes up here, although I think it's Tuesday for a lot of people still. I'm very happy that I managed to finish all of the calendar pictures throughout the year. I don't think I've filmed all of them, which is why I'll show them at the end of this, but here are the two sets of pens I'm using. First up are these pastel fineliners, which honestly are pretty disappointing. They are just too pale, and I didn't really get much out of them. I kind of went over everything and you could see a very light green on the tree, but I knew that this wasn't going to be enough for what I wanted, and I have another set of pens there which will come into play very soon. Both sets of pens and the calendar pictures came out of two boxes that I received from a company called Graby. One of them at the start of the year, which had the calendar and the glitter pens in it, and another one which came out I think in August, and that's where the pastel pens came from. I'll post both videos at the end of this one so you can check them out for yourself. But these glitter pens which came in the January box are so great. I really like them. They are high quality and I love all of the colours that were included. They're nice and shiny, they have a lot of juicy ink in them, and they worked so much better than the pastel pens for showing up colour. Although unfortunately there's no red glitter pen, so my poinsettias have to be in orange. Oh well, it doesn't really matter too much, I don't think. Orange is close enough. And I just used other colours randomly to colour in the baubles, and yeah, I think it all came together really well. I'm happy with how it looks. It's very sketchy and illustrative, and I do quite like this style of drawing. Maybe I need to do a little bit more of it, just going over with pen and then adding glitter pens on the top. You can't go wrong with glitter, am I right? So let me know in the comments if you've had any projects that have gone throughout the year, or perhaps a monthly challenge like Inktober. Let me know if you managed to finish something, or did you kind of give up halfway through, because that's quite often what happens to me, so I'm actually quite proud of myself for sticking with it and finishing all of the calendar pieces. There was meant to be a tree skirt under the Christmas tree, but I ended up just colouring it blue so it looks like it's floating on water, but I actually like it better anyway, and I was using the gold pen just to draw in some stars and take up some of that white space, make it look a little more festive. So here's the drawing part finished, and you can see all of that lovely shininess from the glitter pens. Those are really great, and I'm happy with how this came out. Simple but effective. So I've got these little pieces of paper that I want to stick on, but they have white borders around them and they really need to be cut out. I've opted for the presents and the snowman. I have some tiny little scissors here and I'm just going to fussy cut all of those borders off. This took me forever to do. I've sped it up quite a lot so you don't have to sit through the entire thing. But who am I kidding? I love doing this kind of thing. It's so relaxing. And this year in particular, I've really gotten into paper crafts because it's just so enjoyable using scissors to cut paper. I know that probably sounds really ridiculous, but it is so therapeutic. You should try it sometime if you haven't. It's really fun. And it's another way to add creativity into your life. It doesn't always have to be about painting masterpieces. Creativity can come in many forms, and it's fun to explore different things because it really does help in the art journey. I've been inspired by quite a lot of paper crafting this year, and I can incorporate it into my art as well, like using that Christmas tree cutout to draw the picture of a Christmas tree. My drawing looks completely different to the cutout, but that's completely fine. It just gave me a basis from where to start, and then I can make up the rest as I go along, and that's what art should be about. I'm just using some glue tape here to stick these two pieces down, and then the whole thing will be done. Super easy, a nice way to finish this off, not having to draw in the presents or the snowman. I'm just going the easy way. And I added in a little more pen just so that they're not floating, and they're grounded like the Christmas tree as well. And here's the finished piece. Nothing too complicated, but I think it looks really effective, and I like the cutouts along with the tree. I think it just looks really good together. And these pens, yeah, nah, they're no good. I don't like them very much, but the glitter pens by Grabie, they're fantastic, and I would totally recommend them. So I'm going to show you all 12 of my calendar pieces, starting off with January. This is when I received the box and I was testing out all of the supplies that came in it on the piece of paper, including the glitter pens and quite a lot of washi tape and other bits and pieces. So it's a bit of a mess, but I do quite like it. I think February is probably my favourite of all of them. This was my strongest concept and I just really like how it turned out, using supplies I already had in the studio. Moving on to March, and I've got an autumnal theme here because I'm in the southern hemisphere, a combination of watercolour and crafty bits stuck on top. A few stickers there as well. It's okay, I'm not too sure about the colours on it though. Next up is April, which was Easter. My young niece drew that little flower, so I stuck it on. I'm also partial to a cream egg, and some other Eastery bits that I stuck on there as well. A mixed media collage. I do like that one, it's nice and colourful. The next one I have here is May. I was in Greece for the whole month, and so I did this one later in the year. I stuck on little souvenirs from Greece, things I'd picked up in our travels, and I just put them all on there in a collage. That's all I had for ideas for that one. Next up is June. It was midwinter, so I wanted something colourful and cheerful. Those two papers came off Easter chocolates and I'd hoarded them. I stuck them on the page and then coloured the rest with matching colours. Next up is July. This is a sushi bag which I kept, and I've decoupaged that down and then inked over the top of it. I really love how that came out, it's so cool. The design was too good to throw away. August is a bit darker. This was me testing out the supplies in the other Grabie box I received. Some very sparkly stamps there from this ink pad, which is no good on anything else except dark paper. And now we're moving on to September. I did a small watercolour of some cherry blossoms because it's spring at this time. It's not the best painting in the world, but never mind, I do quite like the colours at least. It's very spring-like. Next up is October, and I drew this little kitten in a cauldron. It's cute enough. I just didn't have enough time in October to do anything. It was such a crazy month, but I'm happy to have actually completed that one. And next up is November, with all of these washi tapes which are becoming unstuck already. Great. But I do like how this one turned out. It's nice and shiny, and I just think all of those washi tapes together are very pretty. They did come in a set. I got them from Kmart for $3 or $5, something like that. They were quite cheap. And it's a very Aussie themed one here. Last up is the one I finished today, December, a Christmas tree with shiny sparkly pens and some cute little cutouts on top. And because I got all of them finished, I'm calling it a job well done. They just fit on my desk, so I've put them all out and you can see them together. I think they actually look quite nice as a group. I think the weakest one is September, if I'm perfectly honest, but I do like most of the other ones. I think they were quite fun to do, and I enjoyed the crafty mixed media aspect to it. I'd love to hear in the comments which month is your favourite. Or conversely, do they all suck? But anyway, next year I might actually just cut out the top parts and throw away the bottom of the calendars, and then put the pictures that I have in some kind of junk journal so that I can keep all of the things that I did. I mean, I did spend quite a lot of time on them overall. Or maybe I'll stick him in a folder with those clear pages, something like that. But I am done for the year on these. I'm so happy about that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up, and you might want to click the subscribe button for more videos. I'll put the Gravy Box videos up there so you can check them out, and I'll see you all really soon in my next video. Swatch you later. Bye!